The ordinance passed still allows cigar and even hookah bars to move forward business as usual, but for places in Music City still allowing cigarette smoking, that's going to change come March.
For smoke my kid.
Denzel Irwin goes by Santa and is the owner of Santa's Pub, a dive bar and a double wide famously known as a smoking bar. Santa says he's been smoking for 63 years, and for years, people have been lighting up inside. That will change come March.
I paid taxes all my life. We save our money, buy businesses. They tell us how we run it. I think it's wrong.
Santa says his customers are angry with the recent decision. He says smoking is smoking, and if people don't like it, they can go somewhere else.
You got plenty of bars you go to, 99% of the bars is non-smoking. Go there and sing. Don't come here. I mean, it's simple.
While places like Santa's Pub are upset, musicians for Smoke-Free Tennessee told Fox 17 last week they feel this protects the health of the community.
It's really easy for folks to step outside and smoke. We're not telling anybody not to smoke. Just step outside to the patio and then come back in.
On Monday, Mayor Cooper signed the bill into law. We reached out asking for their response to concerns from well-known smoking bars in Nashville. They tell us in a statement this does not put businesses at risk and it protects staff and customers. But for places like Santa's where people come because they are able to smoke,
Nobody's making you come here. Nobody's twisting your arm. Go to other bars. But leave us alone.
March means big changes for smoking spots across Nashville. The majority of bars and restaurants here in the Nashville area do not allow smoking inside. There are places that do, and that's the reason why people come. Santa's Pub is a South Nashville staple, a dive bar and a double wide that's advertised as a smoking bar. The owner, Denzel Irwin, who goes by Santa, lights up before starting the interview.
I ain't quitting smoking. I smoked since I was 9 years old. Smoked 63 years, so I'm not ready to quit.
Irwin says if Metro bans all smoking in bars, it'll hurt his business.
I lose half my customers, half my business. A lot of them smoke here, the old timers. They'll come in and listen to karaoke, smoke their cigarette, and I think they should be able to.
On Tuesday, council tabled the bill, but not before plenty of back and forth. Some want to grandfather in places like Santa's.
There's very few places in Nashville where you can still smoke indoors.
But others say the ban needs to be total.
This is about protecting our hospitality workers and musicians that create economic impact for this city.
Councilman Freddie O'Connell called for the deferral. Some council members were not wanting it to be deferred. They wanted to be last night, that vote to happen, because they say they were concerned about the health of Nashvillians. What's your response to that?
So I guess I was a little surprised by that line of reasoning, given that whether we passed it last night or whether we pass it in 2 weeks, the effective date of the bill isn't until March.
New report card that shows a drop in both reading and math scores nationwide. This chart right here shows the sharpest declines in math and history. Now, the blue line you see there at the top, that's the national average. The orange line you see, that's Tennessee. Fox 17 News' Jackie Del Pilar in studio now with a look at the type of questions our students are getting on these tests.
Yeah, here's a look at one of those questions. And Scott, I do want to give you a pop quiz here. This is a question that was on the 4th grade math test. It asks students to identify odd and even numbers. It's a little hard to see in the monitor there, but Scott, can you give me an even number in that list there?
Even number on that list, either 4 or 52.
And you are right. And you are right because that's an even number. And unfortunately, 40% of students across the country did not get that right and did not grasp that concept. This test demonstrates the impact the pandemic is having on children in the classroom.
The test is known as the nation's report card. It's given to 4th and 8th grade students as a way to see how states compare and how students are performing over time. In Tennessee, scores are down across the board since 2019. It's a concern for parents like Sonia Thomas, who has a high schooler at Metro Nashville Public Schools.
It's just heartbreaking that year after year we get our state and local receipts, as I call them, or data. And then here we are getting the national data, and it just mirrors that.
Sonia is especially concerned for students of color. Data shows Black students had steeper declines in test scores than white students in 4th and 8th grade math and in 4th grade reading.
This is a crisis. And I feel like even the people in Nashville don't realize the impact that this is having on this city. And I just think that people are overlooking these children.
These test results come after Tennessee launched new tutoring and summer school initiatives designed to help students recover from the pandemic. I asked the State Department of Education for an interview to ask what else can be done, but a spokesperson said no one was available. The department sent a press release saying most of the state's learning loss initiatives began in January 2022 and are not reflected in these results. Education Commissioner Penny Schwinn says Tennessee will continue to focus on research-backed initiatives to help students rebound. Parents like Sonia are calling for major innovation and programming overhaul to help students succeed.